Hello guys and welcome back. In this video we're going to learn about LUTs and how they work and what's the advantage of having a LUT in general and how to use them in Houdini and how to set up the ACES workflow. Now I have a render here, I have a scene here with a skylight. I only have a sky dome with an HDR and I have a sunlight. And I just turned it off, so it's just the skylight right now. And I'm going to try to tweak it so that we see a little bit more information from this HDR. Okay, so I've increased it to 40, and let's see what we get. And look, you can see now we're getting a lot more information from the HDR, but everything is blown out, everything is super white. And look at how these fall-offs are. We're getting very clamped images, and the result, if this was correct, the illumination result from this should be much higher. We should be getting a lot more information back, a lot more indirect illumination from that. But we're not getting this. And if we tune it down, you can see as soon as we hit white, it becomes white. It becomes super washed out, and this is a big problem. Let's introduce the sunlight. It's probably too high, so let's set it to 6. Now I'm trying to add this a sunlight back to try to get some more information into the scene, but so far everything is getting clamped at 1. We are not able to see anything above, which is basically what everyone is doing when they use the render by default or they don't have a LUT workflow. And the main reason movies look much more realistic by default is because they have these LUTs workflow. They have a LUT for every movie, and every render you do generally render in the same color space as the movie was shot. So for example, there is a very common format they use in cinema. It's the S-Log, and the actual camera capture, the image range goes from 0 to 54, and when you look at the raw image, it's not interesting. It's super flat. There is no contrast. There is nothing. But once you apply the LUT to it, it looks way more better than anything you've probably seen. And that's why they look much more realistic, either the render or the camera itself, because they capture a lot more information than just a range of 0 to 1. They're not limited to that. And with this sRGB workflow, we're rendering in linear space and then looking at the result using a 2.2 gamma, but we're limited to white. This is as high as we can get. That's it. If we surpass this level, we're not going to get anything interesting, and this is not enough for us. This range is very limiting. It doesn't help with the physically based render, because if I expose this, if we were to shoot an environment, a real photo, if this area looks like this environment will look much brighter because of that intensity, but it does not here. So there is something wrong. There is something broken, and this, what we're going to be doing is what will take your render to the next level. There is nothing else. If this doesn't make your render better, then there is something else that you need to revisit. And by just having this LUT workflow, once you get used to it, there is no way you're going to render without it at all. Your render will look, once you get used to it, your render looks much better by default. And everything you saw in the workshop, every single image here. Let me pull up the link. Every one of these guys is raw render. Every one of them, including this, which in this kind of stuff is basically impossible to get if you were in a normal workflow. All these images are done are raw renders. This one too. Everything you see here, there is no compositing involved at all. And it was done using the ACES workflow, which is the LUT. Now let me continue tweaking this. Let's go back. I'm gonna snapshot this. Actually, I'm not gonna snapshot. I'm gonna take a picture, because if we take a snapshot, it's taking into account the LUT. So I'm gonna call this no LUT. And I'm going to turn on the LUT and retweak this. And I'm going, we can load the LUT using this. So load the LUT, and this is what we're going to be using. And I will explain where these came from and how to install the workflow. And you can see by just doing that, something changed already. See, this is the original one, and this is with the LUT applied. But now we don't need this stupid 2.2 gamma correction. We don't want that. We're going to set this back to 1. And this is what the render looks like with the LUT. Now look at how much information we have. This is without the LUT. Look at how much information we're getting clamped in there. And then once I turn on the LUT, look at how nice these shadows are and these highlights. And this is much more realistic. Now look at the difference, the illumination coming from this wall. It feels much more realistic, because now if I look at this value, see it's 1. Let's gain this image. Okay, let's go to, it's not very high. So let me change few values in the lights. I'm gonna leave these guys here. I'm gonna load this for LUT, both of them. And for LUT. And let's hit render again. Cool. So these lights are much brighter, and let me tune them down. So let me set this to 100 and 40. And you will notice quickly that we need to, once you start using this workflow, you will see that you need to increase the luminance much higher. Now I'm just using the sky dome, and let's increase this to a stronger value. You can see now we have much better information here. Let me crop it to this region. Nice. Now look at how awesome this transition is. We're not getting any clamps anymore, and look at the value, it's 80. And look at the indirect bounce from this, it's much more realistic. And let's go higher. Let's go 80. Now this is a lot more higher, and we're still not getting white yet. Look at the values. At 24 here, and we have 24 here, and we're seeing information. Look at this. We're seeing information there, and this is basically the key to getting realistic renders. We need to render between 0 to 100, let's say 0 to 20 and above. And I set this to 200, probably too high. And let's introduce the sun back. I want to introduce this guy back in. And look at this. Look at how awesome the highlights are. We're not clamping anymore. Oh man, I can't believe the sRGB workflow. Look at this. Now with this, we're gonna get a lot more information in the highlights, because it's not gonna clamp. It's gonna look way more realistic. We can push the values, and we're gonna get much nicer fall-offs in general. And this is not color correction. This is very different than color correction. You will not get this if you take the image in sRGB and try to do it, try to color correct it. You will never get the same information. We're rendering in a different space that is not sRGB right now, and it's the ACES workflow. And what this ACES attempt is, there is many different LUTs. You can find them online. The ACES workflow is the attempt to create a standardized color space where everything will look the same using the same monitor. And they have different simulators for different camera. And the default one, ACES CG, is great already. You don't have to do any further tweaking. You can see we're getting also a lot more contrast in the shadows. Okay, in the in the mid-tone, in the black tone, we're getting nicer saturation. It looks much nicer here. And now the colors will have to be tweaked accordingly, because there is also a shift where the blue will not look exactly the same. The blue that you will see here will not be exactly the same. So you have to tweak the values to give you what you want in the viewer. And let me turn this off again, and let's take a look. And this is without the LUT, and this is how it would look like if we were using sRGB. Let me gain it down, and this is these are the value. Let me set this to 2.2. This is the result, okay? And you can see how flat it is. Actually, let me capture this. Let me open the image. Okay, so this is the capture. And let's put back the LUT. And let's set this to 1. And look at the difference. And there is nothing, I cannot stress enough how important this is. And now let me show you a cleaner version with just high-res settings. And this is the raw image. You can see here how nice these glows are. You're getting a lot of interesting illumination. It feels much more realistic because the light is behaving much more, it's behaving in a more realistic manner, because the value that we're seeing now is actually what's being used in the render. And we're going to get a lot more highlights. You can see there's just tons of information, and this is one quick example. And let me put them side by side. This is the sRGB, and this is the LUT workflow. Okay. Now, in the next video, we're going to look at how to install the ACES workflow. I was using it through the LUT here, but there is actually a open OCIO profile, which if I turn on, it gives me this ACES workflow, and you can view the image under different format. I'm still not sure what this is for, but you can simulate different cameras and different color spaces. I use the sRGB, which so far gives me the best result. And you can look at the raw image as well if you'd like to, and see now how we're rendering between 0 to 20 or something like that, and we're able to see it nicely. So we can squeeze way more information out of the render. Actually, let me do one last test. I'm going to increase this to 600. I want to see the cap. So we're still seeing there's a little bit of fall off there, and see the values. And let me gain it down just a bit. See, we can see a lot more information, and this is this is what you need to use. This is the secret to photorealistic render. Even if you're not, I mean, I didn't do anything with this render. It's just a skylight and a sun, and I turned off GI basically, and I have the some water surface here to capture more highlights and more reflection. There's no secret to it. I hope this makes sense. I'm sure once you guys get used to it, you will start to understand what's happening. I'll try to find some more resources about it, but it's basically the way to go. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.